January, I set a goal for myself to read 24 books this year. I am currently on book 27. The book I'm reading right now is 12 Million Black Voices by Richard Wright. In this book, the author begins to talk about language, and he brings up the fact that a lot of the Africans that were captured were from many different tribes that spoke many different languages. He then goes on to inform us that European captors made it their business to ensure that no two people from the same tribe who spoke the same language could be on the same plantation, out of fear that they would plot rebellion. And as soon as I read that, it's like a light bulb went off, and I immediately thought to the Tower of Babel. Now, if you've ever read the story of the Tower of Babel, I think we can all agree that it don't make no sense. And it's like, no matter how hard you try to make it make sense, it just don't. Because why would this all-loving God not want his people to get along, to work together, to build together, to be on one accord, to simply speak the same language? Why would this all-powerful God be so threatened by the strength and unity of his own creation, so much so that he feels that it is necessary to split them up and create barriers between them so that they are no longer able to understand each other? What kind of God is that? I'll tell you, it's not a God at all. The Christian deity is white men. You're worshiping colonization's ancestry. Just think about it. Adam and Eve were punished for eating fruit from what tree? Tree of knowledge. Who else do we know, historically, that can be punished for being educated? The whole first 5 books of the Bible is talking about a group of people who are on a quest to steal land from people that they claim was promised to them by God. One thing about the public school system, they're not going to teach you too much about Black history, but they're going to make sure you know about manifest destiny. Then it's the blatant fact that this God is a God of war. Who else prioritizes war? How much does the United States spend on war? And the most comical thing about this God is he tells the oppressed people to not fight back, to turn the other cheek and let your oppressor slap that one too. In Jesus' name, of course, because rebellion is an oppressor's worst nightmare. But still, what really amazes me about this whole thing is when the author explains how even in being forced to learn and speak English, Black people took the language, mastered it, and made it their own with such intricacy that they could speak in front of their masters about their plans to revolt or their plan to escape, and their master would be so unaware of what it was that they were even talking about. Think Ebonics, AAVE, or how earlier this year when that girl got on the internet and tried to play in Zora Neale Hurston's face because of her inability to understand the dialect and their eyes were watching God. Anyway, I definitely recommend reading this book. It contains a lot of valuable information, and the author narrates it in a very poetic type of way. It also contains a lot of photos of Black people in the South during the Great Depression, which brings it to life even more.